I'm going live a little bit, about 30 seconds early. Got part 2 of Marvin tonight. See you later, bud. He's going to be coming on very, very shortly. So somebody in the comments has already put Sean Atwood, or something about me and Sean Atwood. Why would I want to be Sean Atwood? I don't want to go to America and sell ecstasy tablets and get banged up over there and get beaten up every day. So why would I aspire to be Sean Atwood? That is just weird. Barlini young offenders. That sounds funny anyway. Like the lady there is right. Evening, Kyra. So Lee's going to come in. Marvin's going to come in a minute. I'm just going to play my new intro. So this is my new intro for Lee. I was going to save it for a fighting night, but Lee's good, isn't he? So I've got it ready for tonight. All right. Oh, I don't know if that was just me, but the sound was a bit dodgy there. But see, that lunatic black fellow at the end hated me, absolutely hated me. That's all from my show. So all that footage now is mine in the intro. So they're all they're from some of the shows I promoted. So you can see. I think the video was a bit squiffy, wasn't it? But when it's you'll see it when it's uploaded to the normal videos. You'll see there's some good bang ups there, some really good bang ups. So we are waiting. He was crying. What a guy. Yeah, it was quite emotional. That was Thursday. So most of us are like coming to the end of the week on a Thursday. And then I sort of done that. And I was like, wow. It took a long time. Like hours afterwards, I thought about that, you know. I'm sure everyone else who watched it did as well. All right, Shield Rhodes. How are you, buddy? You sent me a message the other day. You was in hospital. I hope you're all right, bud. Ignore them, big respect. Oh no, I do ignore them. I do like to point out if someone says I'm like Sean Atwood, I look kind of more like Lazar, innit? So, but I want Sean Atwood's a bit weird. But to be fair to Sean Atwood, yeah, his missus is banging. So, you know, if I was gonna, it's all good, innit? So, yeah, if I had a bird like that and they compare me to him because I had a bird like that, that's fine. But if they compare me to him because he's a little bit creepy and all that, then I ain't interested in that. But anyway, we're waiting for Marvin to come in. How is everybody? Evening, Sam. How are you? Miss Salford. How are you? I'm dealing with COVID. Good to hear, bud. Hope you're all right. It's a bit sad how the NHS is so sad on that, mate. You know, there are numbers you can ring in that, but I know they probably don't help. I mean, since COVID. The host down as a cokehead and wrong exposed a comment saying, oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I look forward to that. No worries, buddy. No worries. See these people on here with their exposés and that. It's like, come on, mate. Fucking it's YouTube, isn't it? If anyone gets really annoyed with someone who does that, it's just like turn it off, isn't it? There's no exposés. This is a fight channel. It's nothing to expose here, mate. I've told the truth about my whole life and all my lives about things I've done and stuff like that. So you're not going to expose anything people haven't already heard, especially people that are that have been here from the start of my this channel. So It's a bit kind of irrelevant. Right, Marv's just messaged me. He's coming on his way. YouTubers like just doing exposés on the other YouTubers. It's a bit weird. Like, get on with your own stuff, innit? Stop searching around, see if anyone else has got any skeletons in their closet. Get on with your own channel. It's boring. People are bored of it on here. Really, really bored of it. Just asking for, mate, the link. Marvin is asking for a link. What's he texting me? A link. Asking me for too. I'm just waiting for Marv to come in. YouTube's gone about boring, yeah. To keep that'd be scared if you have nothing to hide. I don't. I see my kids, I pay for my kids, yeah. Live a normal life, mate. I go to work and that, so no problem. You keep putting your posts. Nothing to hide, mate. Everything's out there. Unlike a lot of other people that are accusing people of stuff, you know. Bit boring. Well, I'll put the link on here, Carl, alright? Oh, right, guess. Right, I guess. Right, there's a link. Yeah, see you later. A bit weird, isn't it? That's really weird that people coming in and saying that. People are bored, aren't they, on the YouTube? All this like stuff is slowly going to die out. Even the like Apollo and that, they're trying to move into different ways, aren't they? Because they know it's like they all know it's just what you're going to do. Just keep fucking slagging people off forever and going in on people. It's just pointless. And all them people know where I live anyway. They've got my address. All these people, these other people, they know where I'm going to be and stuff. No problem. No problem at all. So it says a lot when you see your kids and that, doesn't it? Like when you have your children and you pay for them. Well, it doesn't say a lot. It shouldn't. But in today's society, it does say a lot, doesn't it? And you've got people saying what they're going to do, expose those on what? Father who pays for his children and regularly sees them gets exposed for paying for his children. Shame on him. Shame on him for not getting CSA letters every fucking week and then pretending to asking for cash in hand jobs so he don't have to pay for the kids. Anyway, let's bring someone really relevant in, not any of them others.
Danny boy,
what are you saying?
How's it going?
All right, mate. How are you?
I'm good. Are you?
Yeah, I'm good, buddy.
Yeah, mate. Sorry about the little delay there, but baby takes priority over everything, you know, Dan.
100%, buddy. 100%.
Yeah.
Right, part one. Before I let you start talking, bud, a lot of messages from part one.
Yeah.
People were, I don't know, people were shocked and like there was a lot of support for you after that, mate.
Nice. Yeah. Tough listening to and tough to live it all, mate. Believe that, you know. Life's not been easy, Dan, from the start up till now, you know what I mean? But no one's life is it? So I don't think mine's anything worse than anybody else's, Dan, at the end of the day. Obviously, people haven't been through what I've been through, but everyone can relate to some part of it, can't they, Dan?
Definitely. So the first part I've called meeting Kyra. Yeah.
It's Kieran without the N.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
The second part has been called the shooting and stabbing.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm obviously going to let you take over and start you know, from wherever with this story, mate. I think people just want to listen to you, including myself. So
Yeah. Well, I got addicted to crack cocaine as a teenager. As I said, some nice girl in a club, and before you know it, she bamboozled me into smoking a crack pipe. So soon as I tried the crack, I was instantly addicted. It's not been labelled the world's most addictive drug for nothing, Dan. There's not people killing each other in the favelas of Brazil every day for nothing. You know, there's a reason why people die over crack cocaine, why it took over American ghettos, and why it's supposed to have flooded England. Because crack cocaine is a very, very addictive drug. So anyone who's ever tried cocaine will testify that after you've had it, it'll stay with you a little bit in your mind. It'll tick away somewhere in your memory bank, so you'll never forget trying cocaine. But the crack, you can amplify that thought and that need and that want by 10,000 times. So if you tried cocaine powder and you think, oh, that was great, I'll do some more of that next weekend, with crack cocaine, you will literally want to do it within the next 2 minutes. You know, and you're very vulnerable to, I don't know, you're very vulnerable when you're an addict, when you're addicted to crack, because there's a lot of things what you do, what you wouldn't do if you wasn't an addict. You know what I mean, Dan? Very easy to get caught up into wanting money for crack, and you know you're willing to go that extra mile to get it. You know what I mean? Like you see some people who'll blow their lives what they've had. I mean, I met a soul singer from Chicago who came to Moss Side, and he had the crack addiction, and he had the biggest beautiful BMW, and he had a lovely way about him, beautiful clothes, beautiful things, and before you know it, the gangbangers have got his car and he's walking around like a scruff. You know, he smoked all his money on crack cocaine, and he had like a £90,000 BMW at the time, and he smoked a lot. And I believe he smoked £250,000 within a couple of months in Moss Side, and then he got run back to Chicago. So it can be very, very dangerous. I mean, when I got addicted to crack cocaine, it was that rare on the street. You couldn't buy it after a certain time at night. You had to go into the most deepest, darkest, dankest, dangerous places to go and buy crack. You know, you'd have to go into the Seven Sisters in Hume, which is like and the Bull Ring in Hume, which was like, at the time, it was all these corridors of buildings, like they built all those big grey blocks of huge flats, what they built years ago, all interconnected. And it was just all the lights was all knocked out, and there was people with knives stood in doorways. Literally, it was very, very, very dangerous to go and buy drugs at them times. You know, it's nothing like it now, because CCTV's kind of saved everyone's bacon, really. That's why you don't see very serious crimes anymore. But back then, it was a free-for-all. We could go in the city centre and we could make a few £100 within a couple of hours. And that's from like doing a robbery on one corner, going to another street corner, bleeding doing another one, and so on and so forth. So it wasn't a good life, and I wasn't happy doing it either, you know. I wasn't happy being an addict, but I was using it to fill in them holes, what was missing in my life. So say you get a sieve, a strainer, and you put all the water through it, and it saves all the dirt in the strainer. Well, you know, I was trying to save all the dirt. All the dirt was me. You know, I was just the one who was taking all the dirt and having to carry it. You know, I had a lot of thought patterns where I didn't feel worthy to be on this earth, and the earth didn't deserve me. I was better than the everyone on it. They treated me quite bad, been quite hard on me from the start of my life. Obviously, my adoptive mum, she was lovely towards me, and I met people along the way of my early childhood who was very nice to me. I mean, there was a woman on our estate who used to take us all to like a little Blackpool and Morecambe and whatnot. So there's a lot of nice people around, but I very rarely came across them in my life. So when I was addicted to crack as a teenager, I went round my estate to all the drug sellers and whatnot and got tipped and not paid them back, and got a bit more and not paid it back, and then you can't get it again. So before you know it, I'm addicted to crack cocaine. I'm running around my estate with hardly any way of making money. So I get nicked for robbery ×2 and a couple of smack dealers. And when I come out of jail, I haven't got really, my own old estate isn't really an option for me to go on, because to go on my old estate, I would have to be committing the most heinous crimes to survive and robbing people who I grew up with. And that was never my cup of tea, is hurting my own. You know, there's a saying like you don't S on your own doorstep. So, you know, I tried not to do that, you know. And I was very aware that I was an orphan child as well. I had no backup in that respect, where you can turn to your brothers and sisters and to get you out of a pickle, you know. My adoptive sister, she was 5 years older than me. She was like just a different kind of person. She wasn't into what I was into, you know. So I didn't have no backup really to get away with murder, so to speak. So I had to quickly go and try and make my own money off people. So I used to go to where all the prostitutes used to work. And I used to roll with this working girl called Diane. And she was an alcoholic and a drug addict as well. And she had a pimp. And her boyfriend was a pimp. And I hated him with everything I could muster. You know, he used to come on the beat and look for her. He'd be shouting her down the street, Diane, Diane. Like he's, you know, like he's dying. And she'd feel sorry for him and be working her ass off literally to get the money to carry his drug habit. So, you know, I got speaking to her a lot of times, and she said to me, there's 2 rules of the street. One of the rules is don't hit the women, and another rule is don't take the money. And then 2 rules are very, very simple rules, but they're very, very strong rules, the rules of the street. You know, I was never down with hitting women. I've never hit women in my life. It's never been my way of doing things. I've always looked at hitting a woman as like hitting a child, you know, very fickle bones and very small bone people. So it's never been my style to do that type of thing. But I know a lot of people, where I was a revolving round, that was the way they controlled the girls, sort of thing. So it was very difficult to watch friends of mine not only have to sell the bodies to make money, but then have to give it to somebody else just for a roof over their head, somewhere to go back to, you know. So I used to try and get the girls doing different things. Now I know it's not nice doing like street robberies per se, but the street robberies, what you could call a street robbery, was very minor. Like we wouldn't use violence on the customer. I wouldn't take wedding rings, and I wouldn't take like personal valuables. I'd make a point of just taking cash. So I got away with it for quite a long time. So then my base of operations moved to Moss Side, and Moss Side at the time was a very, very dangerous place. It was called Gunchester, And it wasn't called Gunchester for nothing. It was called that because every other person was either associated to a firearm or in possession of a firearm or was willing to use a firearm. So there was a lot of shootings and a lot of killings and a lot of tragic stories, numbers of them. Kids being shot dead in the bakery, people being shot dead in cars, and people being shot dead on doorsteps. And it wasn't rare to see someone one night on the street talking to them, and then overnight it had been shot dead. It wasn't even a surprise. It become kind of like a normal thing to happen, even though it sounds like you wouldn't believe it. Like, you'd only hear of stuff like this in like the heart of the ghettos of America, where people was being killed. But it was a reality. It was people being killed on a regular. I mean, a mate of mine was serving two working girls in a vehicle one day, £20 worth of crack cocaine, and the driver had the idea to steal the crack without paying the money. So he's got to the driver's side door, and she's put her foot on the accelerator as he's at the driver's side door and bounced his body onto about 10 vehicles, put him under the wheels and killed him stone dead. So it was very, very easy to die on them streets. So I had to tread very carefully. So I was working for the drug dealer who was selling in the park, for example. Like, I'd be on the main road while the boys was in the park, and I'd be the face. So the car people would go past and see me. I'd wave them down. Yeah, mate, yeah. They'd stop round the corner. I'd smoke over to the car. I'd say, lads, best bits there in the park. Big, massive bits for sale. They'd get out, walk over to the park with me. I'd escort them to the park. We'd buy the drugs off the drug dealer, and then I'd escort them back to the vehicle. But a couple of times, even that would get hot for me. You know, I remember one time in particular, I've been stopped off a guy in a car, a mixed race guy, and I've got in the passenger seat. I've said to him, "You want white?" Yeah, and he's gone, yeah. You get me white? I've gone, yeah. Jumped in the passenger seat, pulled a big gun out from his the side of his where you put things in your door, stuck this big gun to me and said, "Mate, if you tell anyone I'm buying crack, I'm going to kill you." And I'm like, whoa. So I'm like, "Oh, calm down, lad, calm down. So I said to him, "Listen, I know where we can go where I can buy you your bits, but I'm going to have to go to the door on my own. You're going to have to trust me with the money." So this guy, I was not going to steal his money, I can assure you. In pulling a strap out on me like that, he got me edgy straight away. So I said, all right. He said, all right, sweet, no problem. So he gave me £100. I've gone into these block of flats, bought him his crack, took a commission off myself, got wages, an extra one off the drug dealers, and got in his car, and we smoked the crack dead quick, and smoked the crack cocaine dead quick, and he's given me another £100 for some more. We've done that about 4 or 5 times, and it gets to about 5 o'clock in the morning. He says, "Come on, we'll go back to mine. I've smoked now." So this guy gives me about £300 the last time I bought for him, and I got back to the car, and he's took me to this house, and he's gone, "Quiet, shh. My girlfriend's a police officer." And I thought he was kidding. I just thought, bollocks. I just thought, "You're lying here, mate." And we've gone in the house, and there's a uniform, a police uniform, or like a police coat or something, jacket hung up. And I was like, seriously, this guy has brought me to a house, and his girlfriend was a police officer. So I'm sat there, he's gone, "1 minute, wait here." And he's gone out the room, And in the corner of the room was one of those brass bins what you used to get years ago, those cheap brass bins. And it was full to the brim of notes of money, just random 5, 10, 20 pound notes in this pile. And my first instinct was to just go and grab a handful of it. But something told me that, I don't know, I just felt a bit didgy in this guy's house. I'm thinking, something's telling me not to take this money out of this tub, just leave it. And a good 5 to 10 minutes later, the guy's come in and gone, "See, well done, lad, I knew I could trust you." Camera up there, and it's a camera right behind me pointing on this guy's money. I was like, whoa. So that was one of the examples of me being very lucky on them streets, you know. He was willing to kill someone, and he been away for shooting people, the same man. So what had happened was he got a bit of a drug addiction in custody, and he was a closet crack cocaine user before he went to prison. So probably he's got himself back in the crap the minute he got out. But that didn't happen just once. I mean, another time, some lad who did the same thing, he was coming to me at night time and he was saying, "Marv, what house have you got open today?" Because I used to open a lot of houses in Moss Side. Right, so there's a lot of houses what a landlord would be renting out, fully furnished. No one's living in there. I'd go gain entry, and that'd be my house then. I'd use the house. So one day, one of the gangbangers have come over to me, and he said, "Have you got anywhere to smoke?" So I'm sat there smoking, and he said, "You know what? You can't tell anyone that I'm smoking, innit?" And I said, "Yeah, of course. It's not my business for me to be telling people that you're smoking crack. It's not my business." So a few days later, it worked in my favour massively, because me and my friend was standing on one of the gang infested estates in Moss Side, and it was owned by a gang, this estate. So we're standing there, and this customer's coming to buy drugs, and we're pretending that we're selling drugs, but we're not really. We're just trying to rob the money. But my mate, who's now doing life for stabbing a student in the thigh with a penknife in his nerve of his leg, his finger vein what bleeds out. So he did a robbery and stabbed someone in the leg, and the lad bled to death, so he's lifed off now. But he was a bit crazy. He was always a bit crazy. And he was an ex-gang member who fell off the wagon and started smoking crack. So me and him are stood there, and he's pulling people out of cars and taking money left, right and centre. And I'm saying to him, "Bro, this is bangers on this estate, you know." And he's going, "Nah, it's sweet, it's sweet." So one Saturday morning, I'm stood on the front line, where there's about 6 or 7 lads all stood there. And this car parks up, and it's one of the gang members of this gang. So I knew him for years. So he says, "Marv, come here, I want you. Get in the car." So I get in, and he goes, "We've got a bit of a dilemma." He said, "The main man wants to see you for robbing customers on the estate." So I said, what? And he said, "You've already been seen. You've been seen it's you. There's no denying it. He wants to see you." So at the time, I had a base about 4 or 5 miles away. So he said, "Where are you staying?" So I said, "Oh, my base is up the road." So he said, "Right, I can take you there now, but you won't be able to come to my side again. Or I can take you to go and see him now, and you won't get shot, but you're going to get a beating. But I can guarantee you won't get shot." So I'm thinking, wow. So I said, "You sure I'm not going to get shot?" So he said, "I can guarantee you won't get shot if you go and front it now." So I said, all right, now I'll come with you now. Let's go and front this. So we goes up in the car. We drives into the avenue. And there's about 10 gangbangers there, all with masks on. And the main man's there with this dog in his hands. One of those English bull terriers with the long nose. I'll never forget it. And on the way there, the guy said to me, like, don't try and hit him back when he starts beating you, because he's just been shot in his head. And if you hit him back, you might catch him wrong. And I guarantee you will get shot to death on that estate if you hit him back. You're going to have to just take a beating, Marv. So I've gone, all right. So as I've got out the car, I've walked over and I've gone, mate, I'm so sorry. And he's gone, don't you be saying. And this guy started hitting me. He's put the dog on me. He's one of his very close relations. He's trying to smash a Lucasade bottle over me. I had a bald head at the time. So he's smashing this, trying to whack this he's whacking this Lucasade bottle off me. I'm trying to smash it. I've got an English bull terrier chewing at my legs and my groin and trying to go for my privates. It's just ripping my bottom half apart, basically, while this guy's punching me. So because I've been smoking so much crack, because it's a Saturday morning, I've been smoking crack all night. So I have to question myself. I'm getting this beating, but I'm not feeling any pain. So I have to make a decision quickly. I have to start screaming. I remember it. I remember saying to myself, Marv, you best start screaming, because you're not making no response, no noises like a normal person would do. A normal person would be screaming 5 minutes ago, and you're just taking it. So they're thinking it's not doing no damage to you. So I start screaming, ah. So eventually it kind of dies down. The dog gets pulled off me. And I go to walk out the avenue. But like an idiot, my big mouth, I go to turn around to apologise. And he said to me, what are you doing again? I just told you, come on, this is there again, you're dead. Dog, get him. And he's put this dog onto me. And bear in mind, I've got slits the length of your fingers all over my legs. So the dog ripped my muscles, ripped round my knees, ripped my calves, ripped my shins. The scars to this day are like this big. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm getting ripped to shreds. So I can't walk anymore. Every step I'm taking feels like they're going to explode. My legs are going to explode. So the same man who I was smoking crack with on the sly a few days before, he saved my bacon, because he chased after the dog. And as I got out the avenue, he called the dog, said, get it, got hold of the dog by the scruff of its skin and said, Marv, fuck off now, quick, go to the hospital. And I didn't go to the hospital. I went and sat there smoking crack to deal with the pain for a few hours. And then I goes out on the front line that evening, and I see a gold Lexus go past me, and there's 5 lads in it. And this car, they all look at me. And the guy who was with this yard, he said to me, Marv, you better get off you. They come for you then. But to be honest with you, I was froze to the spot in fear, Dan. So I stayed there. And this car took a left, took another left, and took another left, and come back round onto the front where I was. The back door of this vehicle opened, and someone come with his back to me, backing out the car. And in his hands, he had a long barrel shotgun. Massive length of this shotgun. One of those things what I used for shooting birds out the sky or whatever. Massive thing. And as he's come to swing it towards me, I kind of caught his eye, and I've looked up and down the street in desperation. And as I've looked up the street, the community police officer was walking down the street just with his hands behind his back, quite random. And I caught his eye. And I've looked again at the guy with the gun. And as I've looked again, he's already put the gun down to his side and ran off round the back down this entry. So this guy on with said, Marv, oh my God, they are going to kill you, mate. You need to get going now, sharpish. But I've never been a person to run down from anything. So I stayed there. I remembered what the guy who took me round to him initially said. He said, if you run from him, if you don't go now and front it, they're going to chase you like you're a rabbit, and they're the foxes. So you'll forever be chased if you didn't front it. So I stayed there. And about 10 minutes later, the leader of the gang, the one who put the dog on me and was punching my head in, and his relation have walked down the road towards me with a gang behind him. So he's gone, come here, you. Come here, I want you. And I thought, yeah, shit, man. Finished there now. I'm going to get it. So he took me round the back where the bakery is, and he said to me, why don't you get off the drugs and start serving up for us? Your game, you've got big balls and whatnot. But I never wanted to be a gang member. So I'd always refuse, because I knew once you're part of one gang, you've got another gang who want to kill you. So I always refrained from joining a gang, and it kept me going throughout my life, because in prison I came across a hell of a lot of gang members, and there's been times when I've had to make weapons for them and escort them to visits because they're going to get jumped off another gang and whatnot, or they just shot someone and they're in for attempt murder or a murder, and like these people gunning for them. So they book me a visit, book themselves a visit, and have me escort them over to visits to make sure like they had someone there to back them up, you know. So I'd be making weapons for them boys. So I was glad I never joined any of them gangs. So my drug habit got me in a lot of pickles. I mean, a guy said to me once, I got shot for not selling for someone. I mean, one of the gang members, a mid-level gang member, mid to high level gang member, pulled me one day and said, do you want to start selling crack for me? So I said, yeah, mate, of course I will. But my thoughts was to just smoke it all, and that's what I did. But I knew I'd come unstuck eventually with this one, because I knew the kid was a shooter. He was a shooter for the gang. So he said to me the next time I saw him, he said, Marv, where's my money? And I said, mate, I've smoked it all. And he's gone, mate, you can't do that, man. This is taking the piss. He went, there's another 10 white, £200 worth of crack. He said to me, there's another 10 white. I want £100 off this, plus £30 off your last bill. So I've gone, all right, mate. Promise you I'll give you the money. What did I do? Smoked them all straight away. So now I'm avoiding the front line a little bit for a couple of days. I'm in Manchester City Centre instead of in Moss Side. But my mate comes to me and says to me, Marv, do you want to come Moss Side with me while we go and buy some white? So I've gone, of course, mate. So I've got in a pirate taxi with him, like a taxi, just a driver basically. You can stop and he'll say, give us a taxi, mate, and I'll pay you. So we got this pirate outside the club, and we've gone to Moss Side, and we've gone to this club. So I'm trying to keep my head down in the back of this car, and he's gone in to go and buy crack. And people being nosy on the front, some lads come over, looked in the back, seen me and gone, yo, Marv, yo, blah, blah wants to see you. And I thought, oh, no, not tonight, no. So I've had to ride it out. So the guy who I owed the money to's come out the club. And he's gone, Marv, come here, I want you. Come here, get out of that car. So he's took me round the back of this club, pulled a big 357 out, massive revolver. Or a 44, it was a big revolver. And let off a shot first and whizzed past me. I think it went under my arm, in between my arm and my chest. And the second one just blew a hole in my leg. So I've struggled back to the car, and by this time the lad's got back to the car. So he's gone, where have you been? I've gone, mate, let's just drive. I've been shot. So he, instead of him saying, let's drive, this guy who I'm with, he's gone, what? You've been shot? Let me go out and deal with this now. Oh, my God. So he's jumped out the car and he starts shouting at all these boys who were stood outside this club, and they're all armed. And he's shouting, come on, which one of you shot him? Shoot me. And I said to him, mate, get your ass back in this car now, because they will shoot you. He ain't joking, it ain't a game. So as he's got back in the car, the taxi driver has just ran. The pirate taxi driver went booming down the street. He's gone. He's got scared. So because I can't drive automatics, my mate has got in the driver's side. We drove right past the hospital. So bear in mind, I've got my legs pumping blood. Right past the hospital, straight into the city centre, parked the car up, got into this nightclub where we was rolling round. I've gone straight into it. I've got a piece of crack off the boy. He's gone about his business. I've gone in the women's toilets. So I'm smoking a crack pipe. And obviously the crack makes your heart race. So the blood's coming out of my leg faster. So all of a sudden, I just hear this woman scream, ah, there's blood all over the floor. So the toilet was on a slope going to a drain. So all my blood had been running out the toilet slowly down into this drain. So the bouncers have come, said, man, what's going on? So I said, I got shot in my side. He said, you're going to bleed out, mate. You need to get to the hospital. So I said to him, you can take me into the hospital as long as you've got 20 quid for me so I can buy some more white on the way out of the hospital. So he's gone, right, I'll give you 20 quid, don't worry about it. So he's black bagged this car, put all black bags in the passenger seat and dropped me off at the hospital. So I got to the hospital and they operated and whatnot, and I'm giving it to the nurses as I'm going under this anaesthetic. I want the bullet, and all that, just being like a divvy. And I woke up to like the regional crime squad in my room saying what happened, and I just told them that I'd been shot. I was walking down the street and randomly got shot, So I gets out of hospital and I go down into the city centre. I'm doing robberies on my crutches. I'm literally doing robberies with working girls on crutches. And they put this big like a padding, like a cotton wool padding right through the bullet hole. So from one end of my leg to the other, like I don't think when you get a bullet hole, I don't think they can just patch it up and wrap it up. I think they've got to let it heal all at the same time. So they put this big wadding through it. So that was my party trick. I was pulling one end of the string to the other, and I was going like this through my whole leg with this thing. And that was like a little party trick to get a bit of crack off people and say, I've been shot, check this out, and show them this big hole in my leg. So yeah, just living by crack life, mate, was a very, very dangerous way of living. I mean, I got my skull fractured once for robbing a hotel. I mean, I was with a working girl one night, and she's got a punter, and the punter's booked an hotel room in this place, and we've smoked the money, so the money's gone, and we're looking around this hotel looking for money to rob, and we see the cash box in the office. Well, it's a big glass door. So I'll just get the fire extinguisher, blow it through the window, grab this cash box. But this cash box is connected to the drawer at the top of this table. So I'm with this working girl, and you can imagine the scene. She's trying to hide a cash box, what's connected to a big piece of wood, and she's got a mini skirt and a boob tube on. Where's she hiding it? So we're running from one end of this hotel room to the other, trying to get out of this hotel. But we can't get out. The fire doors are chained. So we can't get out. We're locked in this hotel. But luckily, there was 3 customers, 3 builders who saved our bacon. Because what happened was, the guy ran behind me and hit me with a baseball bat full force on the head. Split my head open like a bean, just popped it clean open, blood everywhere. Police have come. I'm getting nicked for robbery. The girl's getting nicked for robbery. But what happens is, these guys saved our bacon and said they wasn't robbing anything. He was trying to get away. He was trying to get out of the hotel. There was a guy chasing him everywhere. But what they didn't see was the girl 10 minutes before trying to hide the cash box. So they only seen us trying to run to get out one end of the hotel to the other. And they seen the guy, the owner, smack my head open with a baseball bat and pop it open. So all charges we was de-arrested. Charges wasn't pending, and we was just told to drop it quietly. So, you know, my life, I didn't value my life very much when I was addicted to crack. I got my head smashed in numerous times. I mean, there's been times when I've been asked to rob a drug stash and stuff like that, and I've had to go do that. Done it once, done it with a working girl once, and she used to drink strong ciders. So what happened was, some guys ran up to me and started hitting me with a hammer. So I'm like, "What are you doing, man?" And he's gone, "You burgled my house." And I'm like, "What you want about?" And he's like, "You burgled my house with a girl." I'm like, how does he know that we got in that house together? So anyway, it turns out that the girl who I took with me had left the can of cider on the side with a big bright red lipstick all over it. So that was bangers. Caught bang to rights. Had to throw my hands in. So a lot of things I've been through, Dan. Lots of incidents like that where I've nearly lost my life, you know. And because you're in that territory and you're living that life, you can't go bringing the police involved and the authorities. You just got to take it on the chin, mate. You know, I mean, I was nearly left for dead. Got brain damage once. I got hit with a ball and chain, and I was on my deathbed. And the police are asking me who did it, and I said, I don't know. I don't know who did it. I still don't know to this day who did it. You get me, Dan?
Yeah.
If you ask me,
how are you with the police now? What's your relationship like with the police? If they see you walking down the street now, how do they treat you?
they treat me very well, to be honest with you, because I used to be a right handful, and they know I've got clean off crack. So I'm a success story, Dan. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd never get pulled on my own. Like, the police won't stop me when, like, just a constable and I always have they have an extra team, like, you know, they come firmed up basically when they want to pull me. They did for a lot of years, because what happened with me is I got given a Crasbo order. Remember the ASBO? Remember when you used to get ASBOs years ago?
Yeah.
So I got an ASBO, and the report on the ASBO, I've still got it. I'll have to show it you one day, Dan. I've got the full report, and it tells you all about all my previous convictions. And it says, this police officer says that he's worked for the Greater Manchester Police for 10 years. And in that 10 years, my name has been synonymous with crime in the city centre and the surrounding areas. So I was very, very well known at what I was doing, but I was a handful, Dan, because they couldn't catch me all the time. Even though I was in and out of jail like a yo-yo, they was catching me for 1% of the crimes I was doing. So if I'm committing 10 crimes in a day and they're only catching me once a month, I'm doing well out of it, Dan. You know, but that's the life you lead as an addict. That's why I talk so. That's why I talk so emotionally about it, because I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy becoming a drug addict. And I advise anybody to stay clear of cocaine. Stay clear of it, because cocaine often leads to crack cocaine. Now, you won't think it because you're still sniffing coke. You'd think to yourself, I would never touch crack. But let me put you in a quick scenario. Say if you and your friends have been sniffing cocaine all night and you're in a party and the cocaine powder's gone and the only cocaine left is what they're smoking on a pipe, yeah? And you say to them people, what's that you're smoking? And they say it's cocaine, which it is, because that's all crack cocaine is cocaine, rock hard, pure, yeah? So it's a 1% chemical, 99.9% cocaine. So if they say to you, it's pure cocaine, you either smoke some or you're not taking cocaine tonight. The chances are you're going to smoke it. And if you try it once, I guarantee you'll never forget it. You will never, ever forget that intensity and that strength, because it's not been labelled the world's most addictively powerful drug for nothing. It is literally that. And I was an addict for many, many years. And it was very hard to keep my right moral compass, you know, because I've never robbed handbags. I've never been an handbag snatcher. I've never robbed off the elderly, the old, the infirm. I've never took advantage of vulnerable people, even the people who I used to be around, the working girls. I never took advantage of them, Dan. I would always give them the respect that they deserve, and I would always try my very hardest to make sure that they didn't have to sell the bodies for money. I mean, a lot of men on them streets will let a girl work herself to the bone for the money, but I wouldn't, never. I'd always say to them, look, there's another way. There's a different way we can make money today, girl. You don't have to sell yourself. And, you know, one of the girls in the comments of your chat on our part 1 called Tasha, she'll vouch for me on that one, because Tasha is a very, very, very strong girl, and she's been on them streets for years. And she's seen how many of our friends have died as well. Because I've got umpteen people who've died doing what I did, not even got away with half of what I did. You know, I went far beyond what you would expect to get away with. I mean, I should be either dead, lifed up in prison, buried somewhere, fed to pigs somewhere, hidden on Yorkshire moors somewhere. You know, I've been threatened with it all. I'm so close to being killed. I mean, my mate, in inverted commas, a mate stabbed me once in my side just for not buying him a can of alcohol, and left a big hole in my stomach. Just walking with him, and he went, Marv, you're going to buy us a can from the shop? And I went, bro, I ain't got enough. And next thing, he's just put a big knife in my side. And I look down and I go, have you just stabbed me? And he runs off. I could have bled to death on that corner there. No one would have known what happened. I'd have just been another statistic. Instead, I had to go to A&E and get myself looked at and dealt with. Get it dealt with, you know. Like I say, let me just say about the police. So, even though they treat me with a token of respect now, there wasn't no love lost, mate. They put a dog on me once, a police dog, crunched my kneecap like it was a toffee, my knee. I'm smoking crack in an empty building in the city centre, and my lighter is flickering. And next minute, someone has reported it to the police saying that the building is being burgled. So the police have came, blocked off the exit, the only exit, and started shouting, "Come out now, come out." And I thought, I ain't coming out to a load of police, they're going to do me in. So I tried hiding. And they put a dog out. The dog went searching for me and it grabbed me down. An Alsatian, long-haired Alsatian, ripped me to the floor and started chewing on my knee, crunched my knee. And I've got these big scars around my kneecap where it literally crushed me. And Kira can testify to that because I was with Kira at the time and she was horrified when I got home. But I just said, you know what, it's just par for the course. You know, I was doing something wrong. They're the police, they're out to do something right, you know. I only respect the police, mate, for catching paedophiles, sex offenders, people who hurt other people. I'll throw my hands in and say, you know what, respect to you lads for doing that. Do you know what I mean? Because they are crime fighters, but I think drugs is being dealt with a whole wrong way. We're in the wild west of drugs at the moment. In 200 years, when we're long gone, drugs will be dealt with like it's dealt with cocoa and coffee and every other substance. It'll be dealt with duly. It won't be left to gangs of thugs. The hardest lad of the village where they grow the heroin, it won't be left to him to distribute it everywhere. You know, it'll be down to the government of that country to deal with. So just as like the Wild West was 200 years ago in America, crime was just rampant. You could just kill someone on the street. That's how we'll go back in the future. We'll look back at these times now as like the Wild West, you know. So I'm very lucky, Dan, to be even here, mate, to be able to be allowed to sit here and tell the tale. So I'm clean 10 years off crack. So it's been a long time, but it's a long enough time to talk about it and share some of my stories, hopefully to teach others that it is wrong. I'm telling you, it's very, very wrong. If you're going to start selling crack on your estate, you need to know what you're doing to your fellow human beings. You know, your mate's mum is probably buying crack off you. Your mate's dad is probably in jail through the crack what you sold him. I remember once, mate, this is one of the lowest times I can ever remember. I know of someone who died in a house of a heroin overdose. But the drugs what he used to kill him, he'd not paid for. And the next day, while his family, all straight members, are in his house, and he's died in that house, and obviously his body's not there and whatnot. I know of someone who drove up in the car, walked in the house and went, "Yeah, he owed me 80 quid. I'm taking the telly." And took the telly off the stand, the wall stand, unplugged it and carried it out of the house. And when I heard that happened, that's how much respect the drug dealer had for that customer. It disgusted me. It made me realise what sort of life I was living. It made me take a step back. And I think that was one of the reasons why I wanted to change, because I could see that I was living this disgusting life. Horrible. Never going to amount to anything. And I think, Dan, I think we're looking for part 3 here, don't you, kiddie?
I
Hey,
do. And do you know what I think I want to talk about in part 3, if you don't mind? You
Joe.
know, the other night when you went off and Cara heard that I asked about, like, do you know when you were, because you were born in prison, that when you went back to prison, did you feel like you were at home?
It was home, Dan.
Yeah.
It
I'd
was my home. It
in
never
part
felt.
3, mate, if we can go into that prison life, and maybe if you could talk about, because there are people that, younger people, yeah, that might do something stupid when they go out and end up having to go to prison. If you could just kind of go for a little guide, because obviously for people that might end up in trouble and stuff like that, just if you could
I
talk us
will,
right through it, mate, if that's all right, in part 3.
1,000,000%, Dan. I'll see you in part 3, brother, okay?
All right, obviously we don't pick a date, but when Marvin is ready, I'll tell you and we'll go for it, yeah?
We're on it. We're on it, Dan, for the people, aren't we?
Definitely. They've
Thanks a
enjoyed it
lot, guys,
tonight. The
for watching.
comments have been brilliant, bud.
Okay, buddy. I'll see you in part 3, Danny. Bye, mate.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
See you later, bud. Wow. So, again, that was a bit more, that's a bit more, that's a bit different from the last one. The last one was really like emotionally, like, you know, heart wrenching, wasn't it? But this one was a bit more of the street life, you know, like and it's, you know, it's like, wow, like this survivor on the streets getting shot and stuff. There's a lot of people that live, that life he's lived is crazy. So we're going to do part 3. Big up to Kyra in the chat. Everyone else who's been in tonight. Zeus, big up to you, bud, and your channel as well, bud. See your numbers growing, mate. I'll come in myself as well when I see it on. Good luck to you, pal, with that. I'll see you soon anyway, bud. Thank you very much, MC. Obviously, like he just talks, isn't it? So I don't really do anything. This is the easiest lives. It's amazing hearing it. I can just sit back and kind of relax, but you can't get too relaxed. Obviously, I can't just drift off, can I? Because if he's talking, then I don't realise. But I listen to everything. It's amazing. Respect to you, Shield Rhodes. Respect to everyone. Well, I'm going to be back to the normal one tomorrow. I've got Stuart Anderson and Zachary, who's coming from America to fight him on 3D. So, going to get a little head-to-head going between them. They reckon they ain't going to have any beef, but let me see if I can get a little bit of beef going between them. Wise Wayne, respect to you, buddy. Kiera, respect to you. Kyra, I still can't say. I think I've got a problem with things like that. We'll see you in part 3. I look forward to that one. I'm getting the thing made for the part 1, so they're going to all have the same picture, but the different parts. Part 1 was meeting Kyra. Part 2 was shooting and stabbing. Part 3 is going to be prison life. That might be interesting to a lot of Leslie. Big shout out to you. Amazing. Don't just. Oh, big shout out to you, Don't Just Darren. Good to hear that, bud. Come in for the next one. Big shout out to you all for coming in tonight. I'll be back tomorrow at 8 with the fighting one. Probably not everyone's thing, but we will be back with Marv. I think I'm going to have to get Marv on like as regular as possible. You know, I'll be like, in the end, like, he won't want to come on, and I'll be like, well, everyone wants to hear what your favourite books were when you were in prison, or, you know, what your favourite colour pencil is, just to get him on it, just to get him to speak. Big Cara story. Well, there you go. We've got to get that as well, haven't we? We've got to get that story. Okay. Big up to you all. Yeah, we'll be part 759. He has got an awesome story. Never heard anyone with a life like that ever, I don't think. Never. See you tomorrow, Shield Rhodes. Have a good evening, buddy. Look after yourself. Take care of your health. Marv is brilliant. Thank you all for coming in. Don't forget to hit the likes on the way out. Well, it's like a mystery, isn't it, when he's going to come on again? But the better you get the views and that we get and shares on this, he'll want to come back on more, won't he? So for Marv and Kyra, please, I said it right. Share it. I'm going to put it up on Insta soon. Thanks, everyone. For the fight fans, I'll see you tomorrow. For the rest of you, I'll see you on the next part 3. Thank you.